I've been looking to hire a finance manager for the last 2 months, and I want to go through the interview process. I use what candidates can do to impress me and make sure that they get a job offer. For those of you that don't know, I lead finance for Kraft Heinz away from home in Canada. What away from home is, think food service, restaurants, anything that you do outside of groceries where you see food, that's the business that I'm in. And I have a finance team. I've been looking for a commercial finance manager to lead all of our go-to-market strategies, pricing, and work really closely with our sales and marketing teams. Because what I like to say is you can sell infinite product if you give it away for free. But in order to manage a profitable company, you need to manage price. My interview process is 3 steps. First step is myself and talent acquisition. We go through a screening interview. The screening interview is all about getting a quick sense on who you are, why you're interested, and would we be a good fit. And we also talk salary, just to make sure the dollars you're expecting and dollars we're expecting are similar. If it's different, okay, totally understand. The second step is an Excel test, because in finance, a lot of things are done in Excel. And frankly, I will say Kraft Heinz, too many things are in Excel. So it's super important. We need to make sure that you have the fundamentals for, and that actually applies no matter what role you're in, how senior you are, because there will always be things where if you can do it yourself, you can do it quickly. There are always quick analyses that will benefit from you being able to do it instead of explaining what the situation is and asking someone else to help you with it. Even if you have a team, it's still better that you're able to do it. And my Excel test actually focuses less on how good are you with formulas, how good are you with spreadsheet layouts. The test that I have is a very case-based test. All I do is provide a bunch of raw data. And that raw data has many columns, many rows, but this sample data gives essentially a snapshot of a business. And I want to see how the candidate would approach looking at a completely new data set. How would they approach the data? What questions would they ask themselves? What questions would they ask me? Because I'm there if they have any questions about explaining something that they're not familiar with, whether it's an acronym, whether it's a definition, I'm there to help. And I want to see how they read. Well, how do they approach the problem? Do they slow down? Do they make sure they read everything and then go into the data? Or do they go straight into the questions and then they come back and ask questions? And I want to know, what questions do they ask? Do they ask questions where I know in the definitions I've already told them and that they didn't read? Or is it genuine questions where they take it to the next level? Ask why, ask how, ask, under what circumstances do these apply, right? That tells a lot about a candidate. And because it's just a raw data set, usually the first thing I look for in a candidate to do is just create a quick pivot table, right? Summarize the data. What is the total? Total revenue, total cost, total investment, whatever it is, total profit. And I want them to start there. And then I want to see what other questions they ask based off the data that's available to them. So there's things like product, there's things like customer, there's data on month and year. Those are the types of questions where I want to see them start asking themselves questions. And what I'm looking for is curiosity. Curiosity and resourcefulness to answer the question. If they're curious about something, they will ask themselves the question of, hey, I wonder what the best product for this company is. I wonder what the biggest customer is for this business. I wonder what the seasonality is. All of these questions go back to, if you were to run your own business, what would be the things that you're looking for? And that's what I look for, right? Someone that has the intellectual curiosity. And my test does not focus on fancy Excel formulas. In fact, it is very simple. I need to know you can do the basics like sums, sum ifs, averages, all of that stuff. But the other thing I look for is really pivot tables, because pivot tables will really help you summarize data very quickly, help you understand. And if someone tells me that they've been in finance but don't know how to use pivot tables, I'd be very, very suspect of that, because finance is all about working through numbers, understanding the big picture, and being able to drill down into problem areas. That's what the job is. And the third stage of the process is coming in-person interview with someone on the leadership team. So I either bring a marketing director or a sales director into the room, and we talk about the business, right? We talk about their background. What really we're looking for is the story of their career, their journey. Where have they been? What have been the tougher challenges and the tough problems that they've had to solve? And for each of those problems, I want to know how they identified it, what the consequences of the problem was, and how did they solve it. And I'm particularly interested in how they solved it, because a lot of people can point to problems. Solving problems is the hard part. And when we say solving, I want to know about how they came to the idea of the solution, how they implemented it, and what were the results. The implementation is actually a very, very hard part, because implementation is all about how do you communicate with other people that are impacted by this? What help do you need? Sometimes a lot of times in finance, we're actually not the ones to be doing the thing itself, but we need to engage with other people. And in the situation of Kraft Heinz, we have to bring in supply chain, operations, procurement, research and development, sales. Everyone needs to be involved to make something happen. And that's what I look for. Look for a candidate to be able and willing to do a lot of this. Handling tough conversations is also a big part, because not everyone will agree with you. No, sometimes we also won't have the best ideas. So how do you handle that conversation? I will ask, who do you talk to? How do you talk to them? With what tone do you talk to them with? Those are the types of things that I look for in a good candidate. So there's my interview process. I hope you learned a little bit something in that. And let me know in the comment section what types of videos that you'd be looking for too. See you next time.